Night Sky.
Night Sky.
Okay, J.K. Simmons, Sissy Spacek, and her eyebrows are amazing in this. So J.K. Simmons is being J.K. Simmons, and Sissy Spacek, I think her eyebrows act more than she does. Have you noticed that? Like,
oh yeah, well,
she's very expressive.
Yeah, she and the girl from Game of Thrones are they actually use the same eyebrow.
Is that why you never see them in the same movie?
You never, yes, you can't. You never see them in a movie together at the same time.
But she does this like hypnotizing thing with her eyebrows, and I can't really explain it. But I was like, oh wow, okay. But I like the characters. So what? The first thing that really stuck out. I watched 3 episodes, but what really stuck out was the way they developed the characters. Like how, I mean, just how opposite the husband and wife are, and then that's going to change over time. And I've already seen it change a little bit. And then they add in the people from Argentina that are really interesting.
Exactly. Here's the thing. I only saw 2 episodes. I didn't get to the 3rd one. But here's what I have to say. The difference between the first episode and the second, made me feel like the whole thing, the first episode is just a little piece of perfection, one into the other. And now we're in the rest of the story, right? And the rest of the story to me is not nearly as interesting as that first episode should have just been a movie by itself. Wrapped up an ending around that, and it would have made a great movie. Right?
The first episode was really good, yeah. But I'm in there. I'm still hanging in there. I want to know. There's a lot of mystery too, so they're doing a pretty good job of. I don't know. This is really slow paced too. That's the other thing. It's like
it is. The thing is the second one is. The second one is just dialogue, which is amazing. It's dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
But even then, there isn't all that much dialogue. I mean, it just takes forever. I mean, essentially, the second one was essentially in a bedroom and a drugstore.
Pretty much.
I mean, the whole thing, right? And I was just like, oh, I'm dying here.
Well, episode 3, some things come out in Argentina.
Oh, okay. So it starts to get interesting down there.
Well, you start seeing more things, and it starts kind of coming together a little bit, I think. But I haven't got... So I know there's something in episode 4 is probably going to explain more, but no, I found episode 3 was... I found that more interesting than 2 was, but...
Oh, gotcha. Well, I mean...
And they have an elevator, and they get in the elevator, and they say, it's an elevator, but we don't... It doesn't move. We do.
I think to myself that I just wish that they had tacked an ending onto the very first one and called it a movie, and it would have been perfect, because it had so many little startling moments all the way through it, that and it had a certain closeness between the two characters.
Let's see, I would have an ending where J.K. Simmons wakes up in a hospital bed.
Yeah, it just...
And he was dreaming.
Right, exactly. There, the end. Dun, dun, dun. His wife is...
It never happened. And then Sissy Spacek's like his nurse or something.
Right, exactly, right. Oh, yeah. So you Wizard of Oz'd it. Hey, I got an idea. We're going to Wizard of Oz this bitch.
Well, see, I think what's funny is I think I'm more inclined to watch more of this than it was Outer Range.
And I'm more inclined to watch, because
I like the mystery, and I like how they've kind of weaved it together. And I think it'd be really boring if it was just these two characters. But there's only like 7 characters I think that I've seen so far.
Yeah,
so.
I mean that's it. Yeah. And I mean, other than the neighbor who keeps getting smacked down.
I love the neighbor, actually. He's one of my favorite characters.
Really, it's really.
He just moved to this small town. He's already running for city council.
Yeah, and he's just brutally knocked aside by absolutely everybody.
He's like, why won't you sign my paper so I can run for office?
Why won't you sign my paper?
And then J.K. Simmons is, it's nothing personal. I just don't like you. It's like,
Yeah, this is nothing personal. Yeah, I just don't like you. And you know what? Here's the thing. I've been in an argument with a producer recently.
doesn't that happen all the time?
Well, it does. But the funny thing is I like the other two producers of this thing. There's 3 producers, right? And the one of them, he just says such stupid stuff, right? and he says it like he's the voice of experience. And I mean, you know, I have skin tags that are older than he is, and he just says such stupid things. And my wife came up, he showed me a meme the other day that says one thing you learn when you get older is there's some people that you just have to say no to. I keep thinking, yeah. So I literally tolerate him for as long as I can, and then I just kind of like make him disappear.
Wow. Well, I've been hired for jobs because I could say no to people.
You know, seeing that look on another person's face can sometimes be very cathartic.
Yeah, well, especially if they're convinced that it's going to happen.
Yeah, right. This guy ran away with the he ran away with the casting of a film, right? And he's the producer. And he's been doing a lot of TV, right? And in TV they do that, you know, they do the casting, they do everything, and they have director of the week. But I'm the director.
Right, yeah.
And it's a movie. And we got into a pissing match and he got wet.
Oh, that reminds me, since you said director of the week, I was thinking that maybe that's one thing that was wrong with Outer Range. Maybe they had more than one director that was, and I liked one of them, didn't like the other one or something.
That could be it.
I'll have to look at that.
You don't know. Yeah.
Why did episode 3 bother me? It was probably a different director. I'm going to go look that up. But anyway.
Jesus. Are we done with this? Okay. I want to see, I'm not liking this that much, and you're liking it more. And I want to go for a 2, and only because I think the very first episode by itself would have made a great movie, and I would have given that movie a 4.
I think I'm like at 3.5 right now. I mean,
so you and I just switched places between this and the last film.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, I don't think it's mind blowing yet, but I find it really interesting, and I want to know more. So it's like a book. I want to read the next chapter. I want to see what happens next.
The only thing that we can all agree on is that 6 Underground sucks.
Yes.
Okay.
But Sissy Spacek, if it wasn't for her,
well, yeah.
I mean, I was reading some trivia.
Come on.
Here's some trivia. J.K. Simmons never read any synopsis or character description for this movie. He read the script, and he signed it because Sissy Spacek was in it, apparently.
I can understand that entirely.
And I would do the same thing. I want to work with those eyebrows.
Yeah, J.K. and Sissy together in the first one is it's just a masterclass in acting, I tell you, it really is.
I will say I do have a problem with J.K. Simmons, which is not fair, but I have trouble getting out of that out of my head when I'm watching a movie with him. All I see is that insurance guy. And I'm like, I want to get that out of my head because he acts the same way in the commercials too. So.
Oh, shut. Well, you know what? My dog is in here bugging me. He wants me to feed him.
Oh, okay. Is that a way to say you have to go to the bathroom?
That's my dog.
All right.
Okay, man.